Kai is got the best sense of humor. He's a big old snuggle baby. He loves to snuggle, he loves to cuddle. He's just to me, he's like a little gentleman.
He's always happy, even when he's sick. He's just always a happy baby.
Do you have a little bit of stubborn in him too?
Oh, he's the most stubborn.
He's stubborn.
He gets that from his dad.
He's stubborn.
Like I'm strong, his dad's stubborn. So like together, like Kai is like a little titan.
We got the diagnosis right before his left lung collapsed.
Go to find out he has a rare form of muscular myopathy. When I had him, like, he wasn't latching, he wasn't eating right, he started losing weight. And a lot of people would think that's, one off, but he was born 8 pounds. He was a pretty heavy baby at birth, and then to go from that and, within days losing, a pound and still even leaving the hospital not latching. And from, pretty much that moment on, it was one thing after the other. It was just kind of like a systematic reaction to what was going on in his body. His health was deteriorating. And I mean, right before the last ICU visit, he completely turned blue and went limp. He hadn't really been moving too much and, going back and forth from the ER and them trying to help. They tried everything. And they kept bringing in more equipment and more equipment, and they didn't stop trying. His blood gas level was still really high. They weren't able to get him at a tolerable or acceptable, more normalized level, I guess to say. So they kept trying, and when they mentioned that, I didn't care what it was because it was exterior. It wasn't anything that was going to be invasive and permanent. Because the minute I got diagnosis, I read everything I could, which don't do that. That's not a good idea. But also it was a good idea because you realize how, with a muscular condition, how he heals. And how he heals is not what some would say atypical. So a trach or any type of intubation would more than likely be more permanent. So we were open to anything that was non-invasive. We're just hopeful. And they tried and tried with everything that wasn't, and we were just getting minimal improvement. It still wasn't enough to get Kai up and running, clear his lungs, taking deep breaths. Kai spent most of his life in a hospital room. And the fact that he was able to stay alive as long as he did without the support from the ventilator, from the oxygen, from the treatments he now gets, it just, to me, is a testament. We're gonna find something. He's gonna live a long, happy life.
You can hardly imagine what he was going through. It probably made him not interested in really doing much of anything because all of his energy was going into breathing. Mom saw that clearly that a trach probably would be a difficult thing for them to get reversed ultimately, and it seemed like the wrong choice for Kai. So when we brought in BCV, she saw immediately that this was an alternative that might prevent the need for a trach. This offered a new kind of hope. And as soon as we started using it, it was clear it was going to make a difference.
I got to read the chart notes and see the thrive that he went from, and how before BCV, it was basically doing the same thing over and over again, which is what we like to say is insanity, right? Like, you try the same things over and over again and you're expecting a different result. I couldn't wait to actually see what BCV could do for him. I was looking forward to it.
We were helping him improve his breathing, improve his carbon dioxide level. We brought the baseline value down much closer to normal for him by using this device. His lungs have been expanded and open, and breathing is much easier for him on a day-to-day basis, whether he's being supported by the device or not. And then now we have a tool that helps with one of the biggest problems our neuromuscular patients have, and that's retained congestions, because secretions within their lungs, they don't have the strength to really cough them out like they need to. The Hayek helps mobilize those secretions, manage the thickness of the secretions, and then helps the patient to expectorate them and clear them from their system. Made a very big difference for Kai, and that indications of failure to thrive actually cleared up within a couple of days of his initially using the device. He had gone from a patient who met the indications for failure to thrive to a thriving little boy in just a few weeks. That's what really got me. And I got to say, you know, we were all there in tears, really, because this little boy was, I mean, just to see a child who really was just laying there, now crawling around on his blanket and engaging, it was inspirational.
I went to the house and I got to go on the floor and we were playing. He is a bright-spirited boy, and I know that he's going to do amazing things. You don't have to intubate. You don't have to use a mask on your child. You don't have to trach your child.
Within like 3 or 4 days, having a fully collapsed lung, he was doing so much better. His lungs were clearing. One thing after the other, and every day it's something new, like it's supposed to be, right? Like
yes.
Every day. Guy had happy moments like 2 days after using the Cuirass ventilator. He was trying to sit up. He's never been able to get up, be in a sitting motion, like position ever since he's been born. So within days, the happy moments started. He was able to try to lean on toys. His legs started moving again. I mean, and from there, it's just been kind of blast off. Like, you know, since we've been home, he gets in his walker, he walks around our building in it. He's, you know, trying to put weight on his legs. He tries to lean against the couch. I mean, he talks more. He's trying to eat more. He literally cannot sit still. He's like rolling for the first time ever, like forward and backwards. Like I could just go on and on and on, like about all the things he does. He throws things. He's just, and I feel like he's happier. It's like he was always a happy baby. But now he's just like a little ball of fun.
He went from not thriving, DNR, potentially DNI, to not needing any of that anymore. He uses a ½ liter of oxygen. He does his tube feeds. He does his BCV at night. He does his BCV during the day. He gets amazing sleep. He was getting stronger. I know that he's getting stronger because he's jumped up on our Cuirass size, which with multiple myopathy, it's very hard for people to get stronger because their muscles are always weakening and you're always trying to build and it's just a back and forth, right? The machine is making them stronger.
By applying the negative pressure to the patient's chest, we were able to, one, keep the lung recruited and open, help him to ventilate more effectively and efficiently so his CO2 came down, and also to help him with secretion clearance needs and to get the congestion out of his lungs so it doesn't impede his gas exchange.
I'm so grateful. I feel like his mom. I play with him. I learn with him. I hold him, not because, you know, I'm trying to help him sit upright and breathe. I'm his mom, and he is my baby. He's not my patient anymore. He still is, but he's not just my patient because of this machine and the nursing support, you know, that we get. For the first time in his entire life, I get to be his mom. I get to snuggle him. I get to carry him, hold him around. And not because I'm simultaneously doing a breathing treatment, trying to get food into him, trying to pat him, trying to call doctors. Like, I am his mom. And it is the greatest gift.